Prepare yourself for List Off, the gaming podcast where your hosts, Brian and Ryan, rank the things they love. 3, 2, 1, List Off!
This week, we are seeking forgiveness for our sins because we are talking about the top 3 worst things we have done in video games. And we are not here by ourselves. It's not just Ryan and Brian. It is also Brian and Ja from All Day I Play Radio. How's it going, guys?
What's going on?
Even better after that intro, Brian,
look,
competition.
Brian gets to do it every week. I got to take advantage of these opportunities, dude. I don't, who knows the next time I'll have it. So I had to give it a shot. I don't think I quite lived up to what Brian's capable of, but I did my best.
And I tell Brian all the time, there's gold in there somewhere. I don't know if we have to patent that some kind of way, make t-shirts with J-E-E-E-O-O-O, and there's something.
Yeah, I heard that come up on your last episode, the wrestling episode. It was cool to hear you guys reminisce too about playing those wrestling titles back in the day. But
man, yeah, man.
To me, it's like JAAAAHN, right? Like that's how I see it. But like you do whatever you want, copyright it, put it on the shirt,
Hey, so, it's just I'm just always excited. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just
for sure.
Like it's genuine. There are times I'm spinning around in the chair and just hoping that my cord doesn't pull everything off the table. But
right,
I'm excited, man. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, likewise, man. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, definitely. We're happy to have you. I love your guys' show, man. I listen every week. Like I said, that wrestling episode, it was funny because I was kind of in a similar boat to you where I hadn't played a wrestling game since like SmackDown on the PS1, I want to say. So hearing about all the new games was kind of like, man, I don't even know if it's something I'd be into right now, but I'm sure they've made advances, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. And then Brian asked me the same thing because he hasn't watched wrestling since like the Attitude Era, which was like the late 90s or whatever.
Right.
But I was like, you still get a kick out of it. It's still a good game, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. I mean, I wouldn't even know who the people are right now. So I'm definitely in the same boat as you, Brian.
And half the people that are on the game aren't even there anymore in real life anyway. So
I just made the My Rise. Yeah.
Oh wait, dude, and then there's Ice, right?
Yeah, Ice. Yeah, I made Ice. You know what I mean? I gotta throw him up on Instagram.
All right. So my name, I used to make a wrestler back in the day, and his name was Dank Bone Man.
Oh jeez, Dank.
I don't know, different times. You know what I mean?
But you can relive it here. That's what I'm saying. I don't know anything about any of these wrestlers. The gameplay is fun enough for me to jump in and have a ton of matches and go through this interesting storyline that's just wrestling, Yeah,
it's all about drama for sure. Yeah. For sure. So what have you guys been playing? You guys play any games this week? We'll start with you, Brian.
I just actually right before this I'm about 35 hours into Horizon.
Yes.
And so it's picking up for me now.
Finally.
And I'm glad. Finally.
No, I think it's really good the whole way through. Maybe a little bit in the beginning is slow, but I'm about 31 hours in, so probably right around where you're at.
Yeah. It's just, and I'm super I get caught up with a lot of the map markers. You know what I'm saying? So it takes I end up diverting quite a bit of time to just random side quests.
Right. Overall, you're liking it though.
Yeah, like I said, it's starting. I'm starting to really figure out my groove. At first, I was struggling with John and I were talking about this, the leveling up system, the skills system, because there was just a lot. There's a lot there. There's so many skills,
right?
So I'm starting to get to a point where it's like, okay, I'm gonna really settle in on these skills and spend most of my skill points in this era. So that's been helping me to kind of create my character the way I want it to be. So in that regard, I enjoy the customization. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
the weird thing about that is you can do those like Valor Surges, which like a special, and you can do different things with it, but you can only have one equipped at any one time.
Yeah.
So it's like, you kind of need to put your points into one to get the most out of it.
Exactly.
So.
I have heard the complaint that there are so many options out there, you end up not really using your full arsenal. Like you forget you have things you can use and moves you can use. Is that pretty true? That holds true?
I feel like there's just so many ways to kill something, so you kind of settle in, at least I did early on, with the weaponry that was presented to me, and kind of was like, okay, this is how I'm going to kill everything. But I don't know, it hasn't. How are you doing with like finding new weapons, Brian? Because I feel like I'm using like the same uncommon green weapons that I've been using for a very long time, and I'm starting to find some rare stuff, but it's really not. I don't know. Maybe I need to run around some more.
Yeah, I mean, so what I did was I did like mainline story, and I'm right before the like end mission. What? And now I'm kind of going back and getting stuff. But like at that point, I just was buying stuff from the merchants. And I think the further out you get, then they start having like purple stuff. So I have all purple weapons and like items and the outfits.
Yo,
so
not at all.
Yeah. But I did have green stuff for like most of the game, and you can get by really with that stuff. But yeah, now I'm just like doing more damage with the same type of things.
Just out of curiosity, Brian, Brian, list off Brian.
Sure.
How many hours do you think you had in when you got to that final mission?
Probably like 25.
Okay.
And so then I've like for the last like 6 or 7 hours, I've just been doing side stuff.
All right. So all day I play Brian.
Yeah.
You've been doing more side missions then, right?
Yeah. I get distracted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do have to come up with a code here, I think, though, for Brian and Brian.
Well, you said B Ryan, right?
Yeah. So yeah, we can do B Ryan.
I'll be
all
B Ryan.
Episode. He could be B Ryan. I like it.
Perfect.
I feel bad,
Don't feel bad.
No.
For being named something you can help.
I'm very vocal about my love for my co-host. Brian's the best, so I feel like I could call him B Ryan, and he knows there's no hard feelings there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
B Ryan's
Great guys right here, John.
Yes, sir.
We're learning something about friendship here. I know.
Yeah, always room to learn, right, Brian?
Well,
absolutely.
B, sorry.
We've only known each other for 3 years, so maybe in a few more it'll sound.
Oh man,
there you go.
There we go.
That's awesome.
There we go.
What about you, John? Anything you've been playing?
Yeah, I've actually, and you're going to hear me mention this franchise probably like at least 2 more times. If you listen to the show, I'm obsessed. Obsessed is probably an understatement, right, B? Like, obsessed with this franchise called Persona. I've been playing Persona 4 Arena Ultimax. Ryan's shaking his head because he knows the deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like long story short, I got into Persona super late. It's equivalent to Final Fantasy 7 to me. Like that was everybody's pretty much entryway into Final Fantasy, and that's how I feel about Persona 5 Royal. And ever since then, I didn't get to play all the games from yesteryear and all that stuff. So I actually picked up Persona 4 Arena Ultimax on the Switch because it just released last week. I love it. If you love like Blaze Blue, Arc, Arc System Works type games, amazing. You probably kick my butt in it. But
so this is a fighting game?
It's a fighting game, yeah.
Oh, okay.
It takes place after the story of Persona 4, which is odd because they didn't put Persona 4 on the Switch, but they put all the sequels. And it seems like that's a thing with them right now.
Was this a new release then for like their 25-year anniversary or whatever they're doing right now?
No, it's an old game. It's a game from like 2013. And so, it probably is dealing with the 25th, anniversary.
Yeah.
Is it remastered?
It looks better. I mean, I bought when I bought PlayStation 5. Never, I don't own that. Persona 5 Royal on PlayStation. I went back and borrowed my friend's PlayStation 3, and I bought it on that. And so it looks better than that. Let me just say
that. Yeah. So what's Persona 5 Strikers?
It's another one of those spin-off games, and that's what I was saying. It seems like that's what they're doing with the sequel. It's a sequel after Persona 5. I don't even know if it's canon or not,
right,
because it doesn't follow Royal, it just follows vanilla Persona 5. But
yeah,
they put that on there. Then the Golden, they just refuse to put the mainstream games on there. But it's a Muso game.
Oh, that's cool. Okay,
5. Yeah, it's good. Yeah,
because I have it through PlayStation Plus, but like I haven't touched it, and I'm wondering if it's something I'd even be interested in. But that's cool. It's like a Dynasty Warriors.
Yeah, it's like that. Yeah. If you don't care about the story, then go play it. But if you want to get into the story, I would play that. Well, again, I don't know if it's canon or not. But,
right. So that's the game you've been playing.
That's the game I've been playing. Yeah, they have of course, Overwatch. With
Overwatch.
Right, of course,
which is torturous. Nice. This love-hate relationship.
I've only played like one match of Overwatch my entire life.
Good for you.
Oh, yeah.
I know. I hear you guys every week. Like, well, I didn't have anything to play, so we played Overwatch again.
It's like the thing. Like, I don't know why we go back to this abusive relationship.
I love Overwatch. I go back like once a year, I would say, like, and I'll play for like 2 weeks. And like since 2016. I love that game. But yeah, it's hard to keep up with because I don't even know the new characters or anything. Are you guys excited for Overwatch 2?
I don't know.
Okay.
B is more so than I am. I don't know.
Yeah. It's kind of how everybody seems to feel about it.
Like, do I want to lose another half a decade on my life?
To this game. Like, how many I've shattered a glass desk playing that game. Yeah.
These are the things that come with Overwatch.
Yeah. And that's not one of my my things,
like worst things you've done.
Pleasures. Yeah.
It's not your list. Yeah. So do you typically rage over games?
No, not at all.
Oh, wow.
That's the scary thing.
Yeah. That is tough. That is kind of crazy. Yeah. So Brian, it's your turn. I was about to steal your thunder, man.
No.
Be Ryan, why don't you go ahead?
So again, Horizon Forbidden West.
Yes.
I'm really loving just like going back. So since I'm all the way to the end, and I don't want to spoil anything, but now that I'm going back, it's so much easier to like travel the world and just like defeat enemies that are like, oh, this is a level 7 guy, but I'm level like 31 or whatever. And I'm just like steamrolling all the different creatures. But yeah, the combat in the game is so much fun. I can't get over it. And yeah, I'll definitely be going through. I'm saving that last mission because I know if I play it, I'll be done. And I want to experience like all these different side missions. So yeah, going back and doing that. And then Returnal had an update. So Ryan and I jumped into that just a little bit because that was yesterday it actually updated. And that is, man, it is a whole new game. It's crazy to play that. Ryan and I played, and just we played basically competitively because we both so I just went through it and he got the platinum when it released. So
my God,
he's better than I am. Like, I will concede that. But
it's it's my biggest gaming achievement. It's like the one thing I can hang my hat on, because like I know Brian, you tried Returnal, right? And
I couldn't get past the second level.
Yeah, well, part of that was because you didn't like it, which like we're not going to go down that road because like I have a lot to say, right? Did you like it or did you not like it?
It was I enjoyed it originally, but I didn't have the patience for it, so it wasn't so much that I didn't like it. I'll always respect games that kicked it, once I get my Steam Deck and Elden Ring, we'll be back to that, just
speaking
getting my
language.
ass kicked and, quitting after, 3 or 4 hours. That's what I do with those games. I'm trying with Sifu, but I saw the announcement for the Returnal update, and I didn't know anyone who was playing it when I was playing it. So interesting to hear you guys talk about it. I'm intrigued.
Yeah. So I think you could play through the whole game co-op now, the entire thing. Yeah, because we started in the first biome, and all right, so I think the first boss got a buff because like I could walk through that dude on my own, and we couldn't take him down with the two of us. Our shots were like just like chipping away at his health. It was like the most minute little bit going. And he was two-shotting like me at full health. It was crazy.
Word.
Yeah. It's the truth. And then
I think the problem was that we were trying to revive each other because you just like have to sit there for like 10 seconds and you're gonna get hit.
Well, I'd played earlier with another friend of mine, Keith from the Main Quest podcast, and we were doing the fourth biome, and we ran through that thing like no problem. Ran through the boss there, like didn't have any issue.
Okay, so either he's better than me, or no, or like he carried you.
No,
so
he did not. Hold on. I put footage of this. I put footage of this on our Twitter account, so you can see who carried who. Or yeah, it's right there. It's for all to see. So,
Ryan got the receipts.
Yeah. Oh yeah. For sure. Break them out every time. But it's fun. It runs just as smooth as it does single player. And I mean, going back to it, especially after playing Elden Ring, it's my love for Returnal is eternal, because like it just was so smooth to play, and it was so fun to move through that environment again. And Celine's so fast and she's so agile. And like you are not that when you're playing a Souls like when you're playing Elden Ring, that is not what your character is like. So it was refreshing to go back to that. And what you were saying about the icons on the map, actually, Brian, sounds like you do need to get into Elden Ring, because you don't have that problem in that game.
I know. I will be punished. And like I said, I really want to finish one of their games. I've played almost all of them except for, I didn't play any of the Dark Souls. I played Demon Souls, Sekiro.
She played Bloodborne.
Mm-hmm. So the Demon Souls remake is my favorite out of all of them, probably. I just think it's the easiest one to get into. It's the most accessible. Try a magic build if you're like having problems with the difficulty, because it's not like easy mode. A lot of people say it is, but it is easier because you're out of range. A lot of the enemies can't really do damage to you. But I will say, if you don't like those games, I'm not sure if you'd like Elden Ring. It's hard for me to recommend it for people who have tried Souls games in the past and not really enjoyed them at all. Like, it's a Souls game. It's an open world Souls game, and there's plenty in that world to keep you exploring. And there's a lot of like interesting things to see and parts of the environment that keep you going. But the core of the combat is that Dark Souls. It's like combat. It doesn't stray from that. Yeah. So, I mean, the good thing is you could get over leveled. Like, all these games have little, hitches to them where you could get over leveled and make it a little easier for yourself. And you could do the same in Elden Ring. So like, hey, if you want to, man, if you want to see what the game of the moment's all about, I totally get it. Totally get it.
I just gotta play it, man. I don't know. I feel like it. Yeah, I have to.
Yeah. You have to. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I'm getting to that point with Kirby, and like, I don't even like Kirby games, but it's like everybody's saying it's good. So like, I might have to play this Kirby game.
Yeah, I don't know. The same thing too.
Yeah.
It's out.
It's out Friday, I think. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So at the time of this episode releasing, it will be out.
Yes.
And then I played the Mario Kart DLC, which is really, really good. Yeah. Good courses. They do a few of the app courses, which like one of them, each lap, the course takes a different direction, and the other one it changes on the third lap. So it's cool to throw like, a little change in those. You don't get to do the standard path every time, and it's fun. It keeps it fresh. But I'll be doing more of that. That's more of a casual experience. And then I did get this little baby. I don't know if I could hold it up for the camera, but I got a PS Classic. Let me see if I can get it out.
Oh, where?
Yeah, it was like, look at that little thing, right? Nice. So I got this for a very specific purpose. As you probably know, these things weren't that well reviewed. It's got like 20 games on it. Yeah.
No.
But I got a little USB for it that allows you to play like 8,000 games from retro games from prior systems, and it gives you 150 PlayStation 1 games. So I was able to play Einhander, which is a game I've talked about so many times on this show, and I haven't touched in like over a decade. And it was such a joy to be able to dip back into it and experience it again. And now I have like, if my backlog was bad before, I can't even look at it now because like I'm in trouble if I look at that backlog at this point.
It's really Highlander was hard. That was a hard game.
It was, but I just remember it being like so cool and so unlike anything that Square had done prior to that. It was like a shoot 'em up, and it was so good. The music was so good, and I also dipped into the X-Men arcade game.
Oh my God,
the beat 'em up. So it was cool to go back. And I mean, now, like I said, that catalog, like I don't even know what to do with it. I don't know how to proceed. I don't know what to tackle next. It's just like analysis.
There's too
paralysis.
many options.
Yeah, it is like that for sure. But if that's what we've been playing all day. Before we get into our list, you guys want to give a shout out to your show and tell everybody where they can find you and what you guys do week in and week out?
Yeah.
You got it, B, or you want me to do the honor?
Yeah, go ahead, John.
Okay. You can follow us on Instagram at All Day I Play Radio. You can follow us on Twitter at ADIP Radio. You can follow us on all your streaming platforms on All I Day Play Radio. On all of them. Just Google us, it will pop right up. We talk about all day video games like your boys right here, Brian and Ryan. They're doing the same thing. Love you guys. Thank you guys so much again. Yeah,
for real.
So
thank you guys for coming on. And you guys always are pretty topical. Sometimes because we do the top 10 list, we don't really keep up on the news and everything, but you guys are really on top of that. You do a good job of it for sure.
Thank you. And I became Insta fans of y'all because I told B, like when we first came up, when we first initiated this, I was like, I love Watch Mojo. And so he's not the greatest fan of Watch Mojo, but I was like, I love this. I love curating that.
Yeah, this is good.
I was like, I love this.
So it's good. I'm cool with that though, Brian, because like I feel like it's one or the other. People either really like top 10 lists or they hate them, right? And I understand both sides of it. Like we didn't create this because it's like, oh, it'd be easy. And it's not easy. Like coming up with lists week in and week out, and like coming up with answers for the list and trying not to talk about the same game as everybody hears you talk about. It's difficult, but like I didn't know this till after we started the podcast, but there are people out there who like don't like it's beyond disliking top 10 lists. I will go as far as to say they hate it. And
it's not that severe with us. It's not that severe.
Okay. So thanks for overcoming that hatred and joining us for this episode, man. I appreciate it. But without further ado, I say we go ahead and we get into our list.
Awesome.
Let's go.
All right, Brian. Who's starting this out?
I think we said John, right?
Me, right?
Yeah.
John.
So honorable mention first, right?
That's it. Yep.
Okay, so here's yet again my honorable mention. A terrible thing I feel that it may not be that bad to some, but it was horrible to me. Persona 5 Royal.
Okay.
There's a confidant thing. There's a system called the social link system. And Persona 5 is, they called it confidants, which means, personas have simulation, right? You're a high school student, you can build relationships, and you are building relationships with the opposite sex, and then you could take it a step further with said characters. Now, I took it further with every single female I got it, I came into contact with, and I think it prompts you that this may cause something. I wasn't paying attention. I'm into the game. I'm excited. I'm jamming to the music. I'm like, okay, whatever. Maybe we'll cancel out the previous relationship. No, I cheated on it's like 12 females.
Oh no!
So I cheated on all of them. Here comes Valentine's Day because it's a calendar system game as well. So February 14th came around. I'm like, okay, I could do some more social links. No, all of them were in my house, and and they jumped me. They made it kind of comical. Like, I love Lucy-ish, but I still felt like crap afterwards. I was like, they all like let me have it individually. It was like a good 20 minutes.
Wow.
Of them just calling me trash, which I was.
Breaking hearts.
Like,
yeah. Hearts,
breaking them, stealing them.
That's too funny. So the conflict was never with each other. It was just with you.
Yeah, it was just with me. No, they never, they did the smart thing. They went after the dude.
Yeah, no, that's
which I appreciated.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And what made it worse is that, come to find out there's a trophy for this.
Oh no.
for doing this.
Geez.
So I didn't know about that. I was just being a douche. I just did it. I was like, oh, I got a trophy.
So now, like, people could go in your profile and see that you're that trophy. They know.
See that I'm an adulterer. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's my honorable mention. Guys.
Yeah. Well, I hope
that's great.
It's pretty bad. Like, don't get me wrong, that's pretty bad. But yeah, I'd hate to be on the receiving end of that. Valentine's Day as well, though.
And it's so funny because they all they showed, it's like, again, like a sitcom type of deal. You all see them closing in closer around you, and then it blacks out, and you're just like sprawled out on the ground, and like your clothes are tattered.
Right.
And the bro character afterwards is like, so how was Valentine's Day for you? I was it was hilarious.
That's very anime. Yeah.
Oh, super.
Definitely.
Yeah. That's a good pick, man, for sure. Emotional scarring. I didn't think we'd start out with that.
Poor women, yeah. So that makes you wonder what's next.
Right.
So whenever I play a game, usually third person, I have enjoyed certain games where the physics system allows me to ragdoll dead bodies around, and just just kind of kick them back and forth after a good fight, and just Gears of War just really comes to mind with that. You can even sometimes chainsaw dead bodies, I believe, right?
That sounds right.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it sounds about right.
I always thought it was hilarious.
I think that's all of us. It sounds like it's all of us being nice, and you were the only one who tried it.
Right? Can I do this?
Yeah, sure.
Hey, this I don't want to feel too sadistic, but that I enjoyed that. It's hilarious to me.
Yeah,
so every game, I'm like, if I can't kick around dead bodies, I'm like, come on, I gotta spend the rest of this game not kicking dead bodies.
It is 2022.
The worst is when they disappear.
Right?
Oh yeah.
What? Like, at least give me a chance here. So I guess I know I thanked you for coming on, but thanks for coming on for this episode, because we're going to find a lot about each other.
Yeah, dark things are coming out.
Yeah. But no, of course I've done that. Like, of course the ragdoll effects are always cool. And sure, we could say it's just to, see how good the physics engine is. Sure.
Yeah.
But Halo comes to mind too. The ragdoll physics in Halo when the bodies go flying and everything. And there was another
Uncharted is another one.
Uncharted, yeah. There was an early game where I remember the first time I saw some really good ragdoll effects, and it was Minority Report, but it was based on the movie, but they didn't have Tom Cruise's likeness.
Not at all.
But it was like the first time I saw really good ragdoll effects, and yeah, definitely had some fun with that for sure.
That was an older time, like companies cared to show that, like even I remember like one of the fight nights, the ragdoll physics were ridiculous, and you would just keep hitting, and they would just go crazy. You know what I mean?
You could hit them on the way down. Yeah,
it would be hilarious. Like, ragdoll physics, but we don't have to, check that off anymore.
Yeah, we just expect it now.
Yeah. So, the PS3 360 era was a lot. It's fun.
You bring up a good point though. Like, do you ever notice if a game doesn't have them? Like, think of GoldenEye, right? And how those animations were genuine. You could shoot people in different parts of the body and they'd react in like
they were genuine, but also a guy could like roll. You could unload an entire magazine and then he stands up and then he dies.
But so it just gets me thinking, if a game does have animated like deaths or non-ragdoll, do we even notice? Like, I don't even notice. I can't even think if it happens in any game.
So as far as like hitting like specific body parts, like in a character reacting to it, like if you shoot him like in the arm, maybe.
I guess I mean just like more like canned animation instead of like ragdoll. Like, I don't even think that's something I notice in the game anymore because animation's gone so far. But this is kind of off topic. I'm just
It depends on the game. Some games like you do see it, it's like, oh, okay, that's cool. Like, they do have like an actual whatever, realistic hit detection system, that
Mhm.
animates and all that other stuff. So I do notice it when it's there, but it's usually not there anymore. I don't think. Like,
Right.
I don't think
Was Hitman 3 like that?
It may be.
Oh man,
I don't know.
that could be every entry on this list. A Hitman game, right? I killed somebody with a coin.
Hitman's great.
All right, B Ryan.
All right. So my honorable mention. Speaking of Horizon, this one's a little just recency. I think comes to mind for me.
You've done this 2 weeks in a row.
Well, here we go. Okay. So, like I said, I'm all the way through. I've got really great like weapons and outfits and everything. I'm over leveled, but I'm going back and doing like these level 1 things. So there's a mission where you go to this village and they are like under attack and you have to help them get ready. It's a whole long story quest. And like they're really basically like they don't know what they're doing. They can't fight these guys. And you really get them ready. You have to do all these different steps. And then you still like at the point that I'm at, I took care of every single enemy like by myself. And they were like, oh my gosh, we all did it. Like, this is fantastic. And the chief of that village, this is Riverham is the name of the place. He comes up to me. He says this whole long story about like how I changed like the whole course of everything now. And he is saying like, oh, my daughter, this meant so much to her. She passed away. And then he gives me his bow that he has been like, this is his personal bow. He has fought many, many battles with it, many wars. He gives it to me. It's like a green, like level 2 bow. It's so bad. Like I did not want this. So I went around to the merchant in his town and I sold it to them like immediately for nothing.
At least you didn't like drop it in front of him.
Yeah.
Just like leave it on the ground.
But now like he's going to go to that merchant and be like, how do you have my bow? And they're just going to say, I don't know. I gave this person $5 for it. So it felt really crummy when I did it. And yeah, I didn't need it anymore though. So
it's pretty messed up.
What level are you? What level are you?
So I'm 31.
Oh yeah.
I think 50 is the cap.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
This has been in my family for generations.
It was a long story about all
my
that.
grandfather kept it up his butt during the war, right? Like the watch. You're just like, okay, buddy. Yep. Thanks. Appreciate it.
I love the backstory of the bow. And like, it's this legendary bow that's worth 5 cents.
Yeah, right. Like you think
that's what they were willing to give
know.
me.
Yeah. So I did have an honorable mention that was all the games I didn't finish, like all the worlds I didn't save, right? And my wife told me that was ridiculous and it doesn't apply because like it's about the choices you make, right?
That's right.
So those are the choices I didn't make. So she put me in my place.
Okay.
But the choice I did make was in Maniac Mansion for the NES. And I don't know if you guys know this game, but I put the hamster in the microwave and I turned the microwave on.
Oh, jeez.
And I blew up a hamster.
Jeez.
How did this look?
Really 8-bit.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, you knew what you did. It gets even worse. Like, so you're in Maniac Mansion, you go into this house and there's like a mad scientist and his wife and their kid. Their kid's called Weird Ed, and he fits that name. He is a weird dude, like a man child, right? And he is so aggressively protective of his hamster, but you could kind of like coax him out of his room with you control different characters in this game. So you could like coax him out of his room with some of the characters, and then you could go in his room and grab his hamster. And you could, if you're the punk rocker, you could put it in the microwave and then turn the microwave on. And it's like, it's Nintendo graphics, right? But it's like you hear this little like hum, and then just like pop, and like you see the guts flash on the inside of the microwave. I'm such a terrible person, right?
Yo,
it gets worse. You could pull what's left of the hamster out of there and show it to him.
Oh no!
Did you go that route?
I did.
Well, you had to know.
Well,
right?
it's a game. Look, back then too, we didn't have walkthroughs online. There wasn't.
No,
it was like
not at all.
trial and error, right? And this guy
Right.
was a roadblock, like to progress, because he was constantly roaming the house. And I'm like, man, you had to try to think of ways you could get him out of the picture, right? Well, maybe if I could get his hamster, I could get him out of the picture. Maybe he'll be heartbroken, whatever. He killed me when I showed it to him, and the game's over. Like, that's it. It's over.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So I was gone. The game was over. You have to restart and everything. But like I said, you learn through trial and error. I learned, and I shouldn't have put the hamster in the micro. I know it feels so bad because like I love animals. Let me just come out and say that. Like I love animals. I got a dog. I got nothing against them, but like it's different, right? When you're in video games,
Yeah.
different. Like you got to do what you got to do sometimes.
How old were you in this?
Oh geez, you guys are gonna think I'm like a serial killer if I tell you how old I was. I was like 8, I want to say.
Hey, you know,
It's one of those early
emotional
signs.
damage, you know.
Yeah,
You know.
emotional damage. I think I turned out all right.
We still have a couple more entries on the list, so we'll find out. Take it away, John.
All right. So number 3. Okay, so we're gonna stick with the ragdoll thing. So Tomb Raider killing Laura Croft was one of my guilty pleasures. Okay, so it was strangely entertaining seeing polygonal Laura just swan dive onto rocks and grassy knolls and stuff like that. It's just something I did. My best friend, when I was younger, I had a friend named Jai back in the day. So we used to that was our thing. Like instead of playing, we're not gonna play Street Fighter, we're not gonna play Smash Bros. We're just gonna toss Laura Croft onto jagged rocks for like an hour and just get our kicks off. See her just rolled over by Indiana Jones boulders, slammed by T-Rexes. And then Tomb Raider Legend came out. They introduced the QuickTime event thing. Oh my god.
Oh
that
geez, yeah.
That was even more comedy. Like so, it was like pre-scripted animations of her just getting slammed all over the place. It was hilarious.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Terrible,
It made me one so like this is really showing how sadistic I was. Right. So,
Wait, hold on. You're saying horrible, Brian. But you were just talking about chainsaw dead bodies.
Cadavers and stuff.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Let's not listen.
We can't pass. I think all of us cannot pass judgment.
We were fighting the locusts. You see what I'm saying? We were
okay.
humanity's
Good
last
point.
bastion of hope. You know what I mean?
Good point.
So hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. In those times,
I just wonder, like, did the developer know these were like? Did Eidos know these were hilarious? Like, did they animated them?
Well, I think they got into a little bit of heat when the newer one came out, and the amount of like the ways that you could kill her. I think a lot of people kind of were like, "Hey,"
it was starting to look more gross. Yeah, it wasn't funny anymore. It was actually looking realistic, but like this jagged woman that doesn't look anatomically correct at all. Okay, I'll throw her over a ravine.
She would always swan dive too. I remember that.
She
She'd
would.
like put her arms
She
back
would.
and like head first.
Yeah, and like if she doesn't make any contact with water after a while, she'll start screaming in that position. It was like similar to seeing someone get hurt or die on Naked Gun to me. Like that was like, that's why
it was very similar. Man, I hope you guys get a lot worse because I'm gonna look real evil if you don't get worse than killing Lara Croft. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Just know that the hamster wasn't the first animal that would be on this list.
I hate that. Like, my honorable mention. I'm like, I stuck a hamster in the microwave. It's only going to go downhill.
Where do we go from here? Right.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, my sanity was definitely questioned a bit.
Yeah, as an 8-year-old.
Yeah. No, mine as a 12 throwing a woman over.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure. But like
just over and over again.
Hopefully nobody.
Constantly. Constantly, Brian. I'm telling you, like, it was just the funniest.
You'd like reload and do it all over again.
Yeah, like I was literally sit there for all 5 minutes while the bar gets to 99%. Sit there and patiently wait.
It's not like you're trying to get to the next part. You're just like, you're gonna throw her off.
Yeah, because I didn't know where I was going. I didn't even like the game. My mother bought me for Christmas. I was like, I don't even like this game. So I made my own entertainment. I had no idea what was going. And honorable mention on top of this, there was a little section on, and this is all Tomb Raider 2, by the way. I didn't play any other ones besides 2 and Legend with the quick time event. But like there's a certain part where you can go to the mansion and train with her. Oh yeah. And the butler will be there. So I'll lock the butler in the fridge and just leave him there. I'm like, what is wrong with me? And I would just yeah, I was sick, man. So that's
pretty rough.
Yeah. That's Laura Croft, don't want to stuff. That's my number 3.
I feel bad saying good pick.
Oh,
because it's not the list. Usually that's how I like, somebody says their pick and I'm like, hey, good pick. I probably shouldn't say that here, but like
horrible pick.
Yeah. Right. Well, I mean, like, good pick.
Question?
Yeah.
So the Metal Gear Solid 2 demo that came out on PlayStation 2, there was a lot of new AI and a lot of, at the time, just different ways to kill these soldiers over and over again. You know what I'm saying? On this boat, before we found out when the game came out that we wouldn't be using Snake for the rest of the game. But that's another story. Yeah, there was this room that my homie and I, we would call the Room of Doom, and we would just kill a whole bunch of soldiers, run into the room, get them to come into the room and like freak out, and then just unload on them and just have a body count in this room because they kept respawning. Just it was a great time. The Room of Doom, I'll never forget that. Metal Gear Room of Doom. Oh, this was a demo, so the
duration of the demo.
Yeah,
right. The demo didn't end unless I wanted to continue, so I could spend an hour or two.
Right, that's what I was
attracting more and more soldiers in there.
Mental warfare, like bringing them in to see their dead comrades and like taking them out, like, just to see like the shock on their face prior to doing it. Man,
as Brian's behind the door, sitting there laughing, like
racist. Listen, man, you could hold people up in Metal Gear Solid. That's too, true. You could make them urinate on themselves, and
awesome. I like how you could get through the whole game without killing somebody. But like Brian kills about 400 people in the first 5 minutes of a demo. The worst is like, since they respawn, is it the same people? So they go in that room and see themselves dead, and I'd be like, wait, what?
Butterfly effect.
Yeah. What loop am I trapped in?
The worst timeline for sure.
Snake, are you okay? Snake!
Sorry, brothers.
That's great.
So, not to go off on a tangent, the actual game of Metal Gear Solid 2, this is not on my list, but there's a point where like somebody is gosh, what do they call the thing? Not the raft, the big like oil tanker thing that you get on later in the game. I can't think of the name of it. But there's
tanker.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, seems like it would fit. So there's a point later in the game where somebody's like taking a leak off the side. And you could put Raiden under it, and I did.
Underneath it, yeah.
And you could like see it splash it on his head. That's a bad thing.
You could turn it into first person and look up at it.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh man, terrible.
Yeah. And it sounds like you did some really bad stuff in these games.
It was Kojima, man.
Experimenting.
And Kojima gives you room to do those things. Yeah, he gives you room to do those things for sure.
Nice. Yeah, he wants you to. That's good.
Yes, he does.
All right. So we've all we've all seen or played The Sims before, I assume.
Yes.
And we've
Yes.
all done some messed up things in those games because it's like those games invite you to mess with your Sims. So my pick is Sims 4. But okay, so I didn't do this myself. What the things that I have done are like build a room, put the Sim in there, don't give them any food, water, toilet, anything, and then they like suffer and just starve and poop everywhere, whatever. My wife sets up entire houses and families and everything's glorious. And she makes basements in every single one of her homes. And they are the most disgusting basements, no decorations, just like nasty floors. And she'll set up like 12 beds and like individual cells, basically. So she was like playing the game and she showed me what she was doing. She's like, check out my dungeon. And that's at that point, she was like describing what she was doing. And then I got in on it too. And we were thinking of like, okay, like what else can we do here?
Okay, because Brian, I was about to be like, get out of the house right now. Like get up and leave. But then he's like, I got in on it too.
Yeah,
so no, you're good. You can stay. I'm sure you're all right.
Okay. And Ryan, you know, Kayla, she's very like forthright with like, yeah, no, I did this.
Yeah, no, yeah, she would.
Yeah, she would own
proudly.
up to it.
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
So basically, she had the skeleton of like, okay, we're gonna have cells, and these are just like, this is my dungeon, and these are my pleasure men, and they're gonna do whatever I want. And then she just brings them out, and of course, she also has modded the games to the most extent that you can, absolute adults only rating, and you can go some places with this. So she'll have her fun, but you can also like dismember people, and yeah, it's really sadistic. So she already had a couple of those things set up, so I can't take credit for all of it. But yeah, The Sims 4, you can go to some pretty sick places if you want to.
This is your number 3.
I was about to say that. I was like, what's to look forward to from Brian?
Oh my God, dude. Who is my co-host?
This is all Kayla, man.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I did hear you say.
Yeah,
I took part. I
did take part because it was I did it for fear of my own life. I had to play along, basically.
Yes, like, yes, honey, this is fun.
Yes.
Like waiting for your moment to leave.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, where are the exits?
Yeah. Right. Man, I don't know what to say about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, a friend of mine plays and she's like all about the mods.
Yeah, there's
like
a lot of stuff you can
all
do.
the way here for them.
Yeah.
So I did have a Sims one, so this is good. I brought extras, but I shouldn't even mention it after that. I can't top it.
Oh God.
You know? Man, that is wild.
Yeah. You can spawn Santa, you can marry him, you can have
you can
99
keep him in your
babies.
basement and dismember him, like whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to do. Santa, you do that to Santa?
Oh yeah.
God, man,
She's
like the jolliest guy ever. So it started with like Brian going, "Oh, I just put Sims in a room and like, you know, no food, no water. I'd let him like starve to death." And my first thought was, how's it going to get worse than that? we got our answer. We got our answer. Yeah. All right, Brian. We're just going to move right along.
All right. Pick, right?
No, it was a good pick for sure. Absolutely. Look, it's the fun of a video game for sure. I get it. No,
John, what show did you get us on, bro?
The best show ever.
These folks here, man.
Right. Just wait till you hear my number 3. No, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. So, you know, it's one thing to have like citizens of an entire city, a metropolis, a megalopolis that you built, trust you, right? Like that is trust that you earn through years of building the right districts and the right places, seaside towns, attractions, everything your citizens want. And I betrayed their trust by causing earthquakes, hurricanes, kaijus. I brought them down on those citizens without remorse, and I did it all for money in SimCity. Yeah. So there's a code you can do. And when I first played this game, I had no clue that there were repercussions for this code. I thought it was just pure luck that I would type in the same code that gave me all this free money and then all of a sudden there'd be an earthquake. Because what it was, I forget the code on the SNES, but on the computer, it was like shift funds, right? You'd like FUNDS, and you'd get $10,000, boom. And I think every fifth time you did it, you'd cause a natural disaster, a random natural disaster, right? So inevitably, I didn't tax my citizens much. I was trying to be a gracious mayor. And so I'd run out of money. And I needed more money. Well, shift FUNDS. Here comes Godzilla out of the water, just attacking the town. So eventually I learned this is the cause of it. It did not stop me from doing it. Like, I still wanted that dollar. It was more important than my citizens' safety. I mean, more people would move in eventually, right? What does it matter if thousands died? I am a horrible person. And I'm not even a greedy person. Like, I don't consider myself a greedy person, but hey, like in this situation, I gotta do for the greater good. The city must move on. It must build. It must go forward. And sometimes sacrifices must be made.
Was it worth it?
Yeah, I mean, it made the game fun. So, like, yeah, I'd say it was absolutely. But I was trying to think of
could you
go ahead?
Could you do multiple natural disasters like?
Oh, yeah.
At the same time,
if you kept typing it, it would just they'd stack. So it would happen. God. It would happen. It was stacked. Yeah. So you'd have like a kaiju on one side of town, a hurricane on the other. You'd have flooding, and like, I just kept doing it. Jeez. And sometimes that was the best part. If you built a city up and like you were at the point where it was pretty much top, like you're not going to improve it. You did the best you could with the layout you had. There's only one thing left to do.
Bring it all down.
Bring it all down. Yep. So I tried to think of at least one large in scope terrible thing that I did, and this is pretty bad. This is like genocide. This is rough. Yeah.
Mass. Yeah. Bad good choice.
Bad good. Yeah, right? Thank you. Thank you.
Metal Gear Solid 5. I don't know if you did. Has everybody played the Phantom Pain?
I have not played it.
Once? So
okay.
I have a thing where I played 1 through 4, and to me 4 was the perfect ending. Yes. So I refuse to play 5. I've heard so many good things. I think I really do need to play it, but I haven't. I don't care if you spoil it. If that's
it's good. Yeah. No, I wasn't going to spoil. I just wanted to see if
it's not finished.
What I was saying. So you get these little animals. You get these partners that are animals. You get a horse, you get a dog, like the dog attack stuff, and the horse is of course your transportation. I hated that horse so much. I killed it. I hate horse mechanics a lot.
Wow.
I hate it on Shadow Colossus. This is probably one of the reasons I didn't play Red Dead Redemption, besides it being open world, and y'all know how I feel about open world games already. I just hate how horses control, and now this game gave me the option to do away with it completely. So I old yellowed it. It threw me. I called it one time. It didn't come when I wanted to. I got killed. I was trying to turn it left or something. It just did its own thing. It was wonky. I fell off a cliff, so I shot it in the face. And like the brain just got to the. It just got the best of me. Is again a little funny because a little what's it called? Like a little gurney comes down and picks it up and flies it away.
Oh no!
I'm like.
Yeah, no remorse. Just like good riddance.
Wow.
The dog I loved.
Yeah.
I like it, but
I just old yellowed it.
Yeah. Like I just took it to the back. No, not even back. I just took it right in the open and shot in the face with a
no tears.
No. He had some, but I didn't. But he respawned in like 10 minutes.
Oh my god!
Yeah, they just bring it back like they have a factory of horses. They just bring it back. But yeah, that was
the dog slits throats with the knife.
Yeah. He
wow.
Up on you.
Wait, the dog carries the knife?
Yeah, he has a little knife in his mouth. He runs after you and does like a little Blanca roll on people.
That's like that's a very Dark Souls thing to do, because in Dark Souls there's the first one, there's a boss that is a great wolf Sif, and he's got a huge sword hanging out of his mouth. So I wonder if it's like inspiration or something.
Oh really?
Yeah.
He takes it out of like a sheath.
Yeah, like he's the dog was all
bites it out. Yeah,
that's pretty wild. Man, yeah, that's pretty rough. So I want to say you should try Elden Ring, because I think the horse mechanics in that are the best I've played in any game. It doesn't move like a horse, but yeah, I already know. You shouldn't.
Yeah.
You shouldn't try Elden Ring. I don't think it's a game for you.
Hope Peter doesn't come for me. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I had to put it down. It wasn't doing what I needed to do.
Yeah, I think this is going to get flagged by like Peter.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I'm sorry.
No.
I'm the hamster.
Yeah.
I did the hamster. Yeah, you can't apologize. They probably knew way before now. Like as soon as the hamster came up, it was over.
Yeah. R.I.P. D Horse. That was his name.
Yeah, that is his name. Yeah.
All 190 of them.
So when he comes back, is it the same horse? Do they like?
I guess it's the same color. It's got the same little harness. Yeah.
Wow, they got good
It's
doctors.
The bullet out.
Yeah, they just medevac it. And, like the docs pull the bullet out, and he's good to go. Yeah,
He's good to go. In 20 minutes, he's all right.
that's all right.
At maximum.
Get back out there. We gave him a steroid shot. He's ready to go. It's a good game though. You guys got to play that.
Yeah, for sure.
I should.
Good.
I should.
Outside of that,
I know that. Like I know the plot, right? The big part of it, but I don't know. It's just like Metal Gear Solid 4 made such an impression on me, and like I don't want to sully that at all.
And that was the opposite for me. Like that was my entry point. I didn't play 1 through 3, so I played 4 first.
Yeah.
Why? I don't know, but I played it out, fell in love with it. So 5 came out, and that's when Kojima left halfway through. So it was kind of.
Yeah,
it wasn't the same. It was good, but it wasn't, the same feeling as 4. I need to play 1 through 3. I'm waiting for that remaster if it happens.
Wait, is 5 open world though?
Yeah.
Ish,
okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And you liked it, so that says something, right there.
Yeah, probably because how they listed everything. Like,
Right.
I didn't have to explore the world like Horizon. Like, I didn't have to go to all these places and stuff.
Right.
They just put out a nice little list. Go here, go here. That's what I need. Like, tell me where to go. I don't.
Yeah, you would not like Elden Ring.
No, I wouldn't. I know. I already told you that's not happening.
Yep.
Ever.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna download Metal Gear 5
to kill D-Horse.
Play again.
Oh.
No, that's enjoy D-Horse, I enjoy Kratos before, the more mature and fleshed out character Kratos, who is boy dad Kratos now. I love Kratos as a character, and I enjoy, boy dad Kratos as well. But I wasn't one of those folks who were kind of tired of, Kratos being like one note and just screaming at everything. I actually enjoyed him being that way. And so the third game, when I was upset, I would just restart it and kill Poseidon, and then restart and kill him again. It's a really vicious death that Kratos kills Poseidon. Pokes his eyes out in like, first person, like the point, POV. He just really goes in on Poseidon. Have you all played God of War 3?
I have not. No.
Not the third. No, I did play 1 and 2.
Man,
yeah,
so good.
Yeah.
Man, he just it's it's the first boss fight, which is like 20 minutes into the game, because God of War always has that, super huge height moment, at the beginning. But yeah, he just really he like when you initiate, the cutscene to, completely dismantle this man, he flies through the air and grabs him out of his like water horse thing, like in slow mo. Yeah, it's like this. Kratos is a normal human. Well, he's a demigod, but He's pretty normal, and he just doesn't care that he's, it's like I'm super small and you all are gods. It doesn't even matter. I'm so angry that I can kill you all, and he just does that.
It's like that recklessness, like it's dangerous.
Yeah.
It's a dangerous thing. Yeah.
I always felt bad in those games, like tearing the wings off of the succubus or Valkyrie, anything like that. And then in the new one, what were those wolves called? The like werewolf things, where there was the animation where they would like tear the jaw like straight down all the way down.
Oh yeah.
That was awful.
Yeah.
So, but you keep doing it though.
Yeah. And every time you're like, that's cool.
Yeah.
Because you get like life for it, It's
the game rewards you for it.
Massacring these things.
Yeah. So did you replay it because the spectacle of those games are always cool, right? So was it a situation where you're like, man, this is just like, it's like watching a movie, right? Like an epic movie, or was it more of a situation where
like
you just want, like you were just angry at Poseidon? Maybe he's your like least favorite Greek god. I don't know.
Nah, it would just be I'm angry in real life. I can't do anything about it in real life. So let me transfer my anger to this digital god and literally lay waste to his existence because I can. So like ripping the wings off of things when like Kratos like steps on like the back of something and just pulls it out, and you're just like, yo, why did you make this like this?
So like I know I don't know you guys that well, but I don't think any of us are serial killers, right?
No.
Cool.
No.
Just checking. But like it is, but as a gamer, it is cathartic to do these things, man. It is like it is a stress relief to go home and like blow off some steam and experience these things. And they do such a good job now with like the feedback and the sounds and everything.
I think the game really has to, for me, like I have to, certain things like can make me even more frustrated. Like if I'm angry and I'm like, I want to play Overwatch, that can like go very far left, and just make the whole day worse. But, there are other things that it's just kind of like, hey, I really need to let this out. And I appreciate you giving me that opportunity. You know what I mean? Like, thank you.
So you bring up Overwatch, and like I could see that game not even offering it because it's kind of like, you shoot somebody, they die, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Well, but I mean, it's like,
but it's not like here's a cutscene with the boss you've been struggling where you like tear every limb off of his body, and like there's a difference, right? Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
I think
for Ragnarok.
So that's what I was gonna say. For Ragnarok, I really need the controller to have those Valkyrie screams come directly out of the speaker on the controller. That would be what I need.
Sometimes that controller volume's jarring though, right? Like I don't know. I probably could just tweak it, but sometimes like sounds come out of my controller and it's so much louder than the TV.
Really?
Like those Valkyrie
because it's close to you sometimes.
Have you played Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yeah, I love it. Love that game.
No, how they did the controller on that, I loved. I thought that was perfect.
Yeah, that was like I think my number 3 game last year, like for game of the year. I loved it. I loved it
so much.
I just talked about it last week, actually. This week, I guess this week's episode. Yeah, I can't get enough of it. I've been trying to get Brian to play more of it. He put about 4 hours. Wow.
Same on this end.
It's all right.
Those Bryans.
Those Bryans.
I'm telling you.
All right. Well, my number 2 is Red Dead Redemption. And for this one, I'm sure a lot of people have done it, but it really is pretty sick. Just hog tying people and putting them on train tracks. I cannot get enough of it.
It's a classic.
Yeah, especially like, you'll go into a bar or whatever and talk to someone for a long time, build a rapport, and then just, take them out back and hog tie them and then throw them on the horse, find the nearest train tracks, and you're good to go.
Well, I'm totally ignorant to this game. Again, I don't play that, but you can do that. Like
You can do that.
Yeah.
Absolutely do that. I think there are bad guys. Like there are like little side missions where that someone is doing that, and you can like either help them or not. So
that was in the first one too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
A lot of people will like, you see that side mission going on, kill the bad guy, and then just like let the damsel in distress get hit by the train and then loot her as well. And you got twice as much loot. So,
oh my God,
it's pretty bad.
I like how calculated you are about this. Like, it's a simple transaction when you think about it.
Yeah.
You just leave them, and there's twice as much loot.
That's it.
Absolutely.
That's
Yeah.
You weren't involved in original crime, right? You know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
It's an easy decision to make.
absolutely.
I like how we're all talking about the worst things we've done with like a tinge of remorse, but Brian comes along. And he's
I've
just
got like saw things going on.
I love it. Yeah, so it is kind of crazy when you think that you could do this in the first one. And the first one came out in what, 2013? Is that right?
2010.
2010. And they had mechanics like that. Like Rockstar, they really slowed down on their production, but they can do some interesting things when they really put their efforts into it.
Right.
Yeah. When it's not GTA 5.
So much money.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Someone
my gosh.
put some horse testicles in that game. That took some time.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
probably on that person's list of the worst things that they've done for a game.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I made those. It's true.
my
Like
job.
there is a point where like attention to detail goes a bit too far. Right. That's the point, I think. Well,
Like, was it really necessary?
yeah. Like, did you have to put those there?
Right.
Realism.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that was a pick, Brian. So
Yeah.
Thank you.
That was easy.
Yes.
yes, it was a pick. So my number 2 is so there's the Mario games, right? And Mario games are notorious for introducing you to some of the cutest things you've ever seen, right? And maybe it's your first foray into 3D, and you go through a painting. You're on a beautiful snow-topped mountain with a mother penguin and their little child. What are you going to do? You could cuddle. You could pick up the little baby penguin. Did you know that? You could just cuddle that little soft baby penguin, polygonal, sharp baby penguin, and you could take it to the edge of Cool Mountain, and you could drop that baby penguin off the side of a mountain in front of their mother.
Do you know how close this is about to be on my list?
I'm sure. I'm surprised nobody else. The only reason I'm talking about it is because my Sims one was stolen, and I also think attacking chickens in Zelda doesn't quite equate to this. Like, this is on another level, you know?
Because they retaliate.
Right.
Yeah.
But man, I wish I had a counter for the amount of times I tossed this penguin off that mountain, because it was a situation where like I'd do it just to see if it could be done. And then anytime I had a new friend, because I was like one of the only people with an N64, so people would come over to see the games, and I'm like, oh, check this out.
Oh, that's
like,
perverted, Ryan.
Wait till you see what you can do in the new Mario game, right? Because like
subjecting people to your misery.
Yeah, but it was also kind of like, can you believe you could do this in a Mario game? Just toss this baby penguin off the side of a mountain.
And can't you find like one that wasn't biologically the mother's and make it seem like it's the mother's and still drop it off to get her a false sense of hope and kill another innocent penguin? I did that too. So.
Oh, wow. Yeah, isn't there one like at the bottom of the mountain? I think there is one like in another section of that map, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's just it's bad. It's real bad that I did this, and it's real bad that I did it so many times. But I still think it's funny.
Repeated offenses. That's what makes this the sadistic part, I think. Just over and over again.
Have all of you played Super Mario 64? Everybody?
I played it. I never beat it. That was a weird thing. I did that. But I didn't beat it.
Yeah, right. Well, then you pretty much experienced the whole thing if you threw the penguin off the mountain. You saw the important parts.
I've never played Mario 64.
Oh my god!
Shocker!
Wow.
Yeah. Well, I was going to ask if everybody's done. If you played, you would throw the penguin off the mountain, right? Like, come on.
Yeah, I would have done that.
Yeah,
you would have totally done that.
You seem like the type. After this conversation, you seem. No, I'm kidding. I mean, no offense. Like, I'm just, hearing everybody's list, and I think we all have a darker side to us. And I love how Brian is sitting. My B Ryan is sitting over here. My Brian, I could call you my Brian, and he's sitting over here, and like you were just trying to take the high horse. Like it's sadistic that you did it over and over and over. How many Sims in the basement of how many houses? Brian?
Right. I mean, there were 12 beds, and I think we eventually got up to 12 servants.
Is that in one house?
I mean, that is what she would do for every house.
Oh my
Right.
god!
So
So
this is
12
like
times what?
dozens and dozens.
Right. So yeah, I guess I'm really bad for doing this to a penguin. But here we are. Here we are. I'm sorry, Brian. I'm sorry to keep bringing that up.
No.
I love it.
I love it.
I do too. I think
imagine the news, when the media finds out what's been going on in that town.
Right.
Yeah.
Forget
They'll
Mortal
get it.
Kombat.
Houses.
They'll get it too.
I'm still comfortable. I'm still comfortable around my co-host though, because I know he doesn't have a basement. So
That's right. So
we're
I can't
good.
do this in real
Yeah.
life.
And like I
You
don't.
bet-
I
So
know.
if he had a basement, would you like with that? Is that a different?
No, I'd probably go check it out next time I'm like over at this house, just to see like what's down there, right? Like just to know
Okay,
what I'm
well,
dealing
Ryan,
with.
your old house had a like atrium,
Mhm.
so basically a cell in the middle of the house.
Right.
So I don't know what was going on in there.
Well, that's where the Sims go.
I remember there's like there was a drain in the middle, and you had me come
That's
over
for the
and help you
blood.
clean it. Right. Okay.
No, like, and this is why I know I'm picking on you, Brian, but what I was going to say about Sims on my list, like, yeah, I drowned them, I starved them, I burned them alive. Like, that's what Sims are for. They are cannon fodder.
Yep.
Like that. So I'm with you. Like, I know I've been
awful.
picking on you, but like,
Like maybe I need to play this because my wife plays it. She's so straight laced and so
maybe that's why.
empathetic.
Maybe you don't know. You maybe she got basements. You don't know, bro.
Listen, don't do that.
Don't know.
You should
Yeah.
install the mods without her knowing, and then she'll just get options to like do sadistic things, and then see if she does it.
Yeah.
That'll
Like,
be the
just
tell.
observe.
Yeah, she will
just sit back
cry
and
for the rest
observe.
of the day. No, she will cry for the rest of it.
Oh,
She's
no.
not. She's not. I'm sorry, you said Kayla. Dominique's not like
Yeah.
Kayla. At all.
Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
Dominique will sit up there and cry, meditate, read about. No, it's just different.
But yeah, if I could do it to the Sims, you better believe I'm doing it to a baby penguin
No.
without hesitation.
There's a line, Ryan, but okay.
Yeah. I don't know the line. The line's at horse
I don't think there's a
testicles.
line. Oh,
All right.
Oh, is it me?
I think so. Yeah.
Number one? Okay, number one.
Wow. We're here.
There it is. So number one, not a huge fan of the sequel. We know this, but Last of Us to me was a masterpiece. Sacrificing humanity is one of, and this is a forced thing. It's nothing by choice of me. And this is why it's my number one, because I couldn't help this. I felt bad, but so spoiler alert, listeners. For those of you who haven't played Last of Us, sorry. Now during the game, you find out that your partner Ellie is the cure, right? So fast forward to the end, the Fireflies capture Ellie to extract the cure from her, which will inevitably kill her. And again, the cure, this is a cure for this zombie breakout virus or whatever. That's, it's just, like Umbrella Corps stuff like that. So it's just breaking out, people just ended up as zombies. She's the only cure. Can't stress that enough. As I played with Joel and I forcefully made the decision to save Ellie, I killed fairly innocent doctors and nurses, and Marlene, who was the head behind the Fireflies, that said, look, we'd have no other choice. This is what's happening. The human race is going to extinct. No, I'm going to save this little girl I just met 2 weeks ago. And, it'll be all right. We'll find another cure, right? Like, I was like, I might do the same. Brian was was captured, and he was a cure. I think I would save Brian, and damn the rest of humanity. I think, because I'm like, I don't know these people anyway.
Nah.
I'm fairly safe. I'm like, is something wrong with me? Am I a horrible person?
we got to save everybody. We got to save.
But yeah, I just felt like I killed all those doctors and nurses and stuff.
Right.
They're like, no, please, we're just doing our job. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, whatever. You're killing my friend. And I shot him in the face.
See,
But-
I think it says a lot how you went in there, because I did the same thing. I just kicked down the door and shot everyone I saw and got off the table.
Yeah.
Right. And
No
I think there was an option not to shoot them. I found that out after. I felt even more like I think I didn't have to shoot. I think I could just, they weren't going to fight me back. So I think I could
kill the main surgeon. Yeah.
That led up to Last of Us 2, right?
Yeah.
But I killed everyone in that room.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I think it is a forced decision, but after that game, after the relationship that's built, like I'm killing those doctors every time.
No questions asked.
No.
Yeah.
Like, dude, what's humanity anyway? Like, are we really worth saving? Really?
Yeah.
Like, we're pretty bad, dude. Like, when you get down to it, there are a lot of evil. Like, we talk about evil stuff and worse things we did in video games. At least we only do them in video games, man. There are terrible people out in that world. I will damn humanity all day. I'm telling you.
This is definitely true.
Yeah.
It just put me in a funny situation. I'm like, would I make that type of decision if I was put in his shoes?
Yeah, and good. See, the game got you thinking, man.
Yeah, man.
It's good.
I'm a terrible person.
Well, like you said, you had no choice. Your hands were tied.
Yeah.
So
apologize for my language right there, but I just was feeling sorry.
Oh, you're good. No, you're good. Like you said, you're a terrible person.
Yeah.
And you're forced to be. I just said I'd make that choice every time and shoot those doctors. So like, not even forced. It's all right. Come on, Ellie's cool, man. Hey, here's the real question: Did you leave her hanging when she asked for a high five?
No, of course not.
See, so you're not that bad after all.
That's what matters.
If you left her hanging, you are evil, dude. That should be your number one.
I just completely eradicated the human race, but I didn't leave her hanging.
That's right. You'd never leave anybody hanging.
Yeah.
Good pick.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I guess my last one. Have you all played Crackdown, the original Crackdown?
No, I have not.
Xbox 360. Okay, so that was a fun sandbox time for myself and one of my homies, and it gave you the ability to put in. I don't even remember. I guess it was a DLC. It was the keys to the city, which enabled you to just turn on all the cheats, and instead of having to collect all the collectibles, I could turn up all my strength, which made my character, bulk up and be super strong. I could kick cars and whatnot. But anyway, my friend and I, we would cause traffic jams on bridges, and then we would throw grenades and rocket launchers into the traffic jams that we caused to make our 360s like run at like 2 frames.
Just chugging.
Yeah. Having some problems with that.
Oh.
And just literally doing it over and over again, like just clearing that line out and then be like, let's go to this other bridge, because if we go to this other bridge, we can jump off of this building and rocket launcher into a crowd of cars. Yeah.
Just screams.
Yeah. That's probably and we'd spend hours doing that. We would construct that, and sometimes the game, would memory leak, so it would be like, kind of just start to replace like further down cars. It wouldn't, they wouldn't stay anymore. So we learned how to like keep everything like within this particular like square so that we could just dominate that whole city. As agents supposed to help people, but we're not. We're taking out the pedestrians in that one there.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I'm getting the image of a just bottleneck in this bridge. No one can escape, and just explosions. That's
Like being the authority figure they trust too, and just being like, hold on, there's something up ahead. Like you need to stop. You need to stop right there. And then you turn on them and they're just, imagine like their little NPC brains just like, wait, what's going on? Right before it's too late. Too late, man. That's rough.
Monster.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were good times. Those were good times.
I mean, all those
were
early
good times.
Well, all those early sandbox games had those moments, right? There was Saints Row had it where you would like try to see how many points you could get by hitting people and seeing how far they went when you hit them with a car. And like GTA 3 had it when you'd get the little mayhem pickups and oh, here's a rocket launcher, kill 100 people in 30 seconds. You know, like it would beg for you to do that.
Wasn't it? Was it GTA 4 where you could just like throw grenades out of your car and just? I mean, that destroyed someone's day.
Y'all ever play State of Emergency on PlayStation?
I did. I did.
Yes.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That game's crazy.
It was crazy. It wasn't good, but it was that game.
No, it was not. No.
But it was the one that Rockstar came out with after GTA 3. And I scooped it up because man, I lived in GTA 3. Yeah, I lived in that game. So I still had fun playing it. But yeah,
did you get the definitive GTA?
No.
He hasn't even played GTA 5, so
yeah.
No.
But like I heard the definitive, had its issues and it kind of kept me away. I was on the fence about it though. I was debating
me too.
it, but just when games are $60-$70, I already get too many of them, and I really have to pick and choose the ones that I spend my money on.
Yeah,
For real.
Yeah.
It's in our backlogs.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like emulation. You know what? Video games cost too much. I bought too many. Like I earned this.
Yeah.
I stayed
You've
away
owned
from
all
it for a long
8,000
time.
of those in the past. It's okay.
No, I currently own them. If anybody asks, that's why I emulate.
Right.
Yes,
them.
all of them. Absolutely.
Good job.
Yes.
You're doing your part.
Absolutely. Yep.
Video game preservation. Absolutely.
That's it.
Just based off what you already have.
You guys did a good episode on that actually. When you talked about the guy who was getting sued by Nintendo for emulating games, you had a lot of good opinions about that and game preservation and emulation and how, Nintendo should really let these people do their thing if they're not going to release these games on their own. And I agree with all that for sure.
Thank you. Yeah, we're you guys are Nintendo fans too as well, right?
Yeah, I mean,
despite
it's
our episode where we were
loving. Okay, yeah, I heard that you're right. The last one,
we had
took
bad.
the rose-colored glasses off. You have to read them right now.
Yeah, they're good. Yeah, I was at Best Buy today, and my daughter was looking at. They had all 3 models of the Switch on display. And it's like I have them all.
I was like the Smithsonian for you, wasn't it?
Nice.
I play Mario on this. The OLED is beautiful. OLED is beautiful.
Have you guys ever been to the Nintendo store in Rockefeller Center?
No, I haven't.
No.
I always wanted to go.
Yeah, I went. It is
cool.
like a museum because they have all the they have every console, every handheld held on display in display cases. They have like a Game Boy that survived a bombing in the Iraq War, and like they have all these.
It still works. Yeah.
It is like it's very much to sell you merch and stuff. Yeah, it still works. Yeah, it's crazy. But they have a lot of cool stuff in there as well. Like you probably can't make a day of it, but if you're in New York City, it's worth checking out for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check it out.
I should sign my Nintendo Power where I have the art and then give it to them and see what they say.
Yeah, he was published in Nintendo Power, dude.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
Nice.
That's awesome.
So they had the
you should
the artist, the envelope art where you could send it in. So I sent one of those in as a kid, and yeah, it was in there.
Dope.
Sonic Advance.
That's fire.
You should sign.
Sonic Advance.
Yes.
It's even crazier. You got published in Nintendo Power back then for a Sonic game. Like
I know.
Yeah.
Foretelling.
Right.
What a time we lived in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Well, my number one, I don't know if this will top other ones, but Skyrim is a game where you can do some pretty messed up stuff. And what I tended to do was go into people's houses, where they would have a lot of people living there, maybe an orphanage. And you can, with the proper mods in place, you can kill people. You can also decapitate them. And the game would kind of only allow you to decapitate I think you had to stun them first. And then it was like 9% chance that they would actually get decapitated. But with mods on, you could do that every single time. So I would go to the different people's houses and then decapitate and then set them up in their poses. So put them on their chair or sit them in their bed. And then you can just have everyone's heads on a shelf. just everyone to enjoy as you walk into the home.
God. We are not usually like this, guys. Like,
hey, I don't know.
Maybe we should do another episode together. I don't know. No, I'm kidding. Oh, Brian.
Yeah. So that's what I did.
I love how nonchalant Brian is. That's what I did.
Did you do it to the kids too? You said
so you couldn't do it to the kids
with the proper mods.
Good, thank you. Okay.
Well, probably.
Yeah.
But the kids would just like still live there, just with no parental guidance at all.
Like Lord of the Flies.
Yeah. So they could do their own little just colony or whatever.
Live with decapitated bodies.
Exactly.
And
they never seemed to mind. They never said anything. So I don't know. Didn't seem too bad.
I never played with those mods, but I did know like you could have a mod where you can kill kids. So it's good you didn't do that, Brian. It's good you draw the line somewhere.
Okay.
Just just take care of their parents. That's okay.
Make them orphans.
Well, there was like a whole orphanage storyline in game, so maybe they just
there it is.
Yeah,
you contributed there.
I took care of them at that point.
I'm really trying to stick up for you here, Brian.
When it started to sound worse.
Yeah, it really is.
My first thing was like selling a bow, and now I'm decapitating people and making their children
I know. I think it jumped pretty hard from your honorable mention to 3.
I see. Yeah.
Like there was a big leap there because your honorable mention was selling the bow, right?
Yeah.
What was your next one?
The Sims.
Yeah, that's a big jump. That is a big jump.
What do you got, Ryan? Let's see how bad this gets.
So my number 1, it's not going to get that bad.
Okay.
This wasn't in any particular order. If you're expecting some huge revelation here, it's pretty bad though. So in Dark Souls, you could leave messages for other players.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So I have left a message on cliff faces, like right before a big, drop down. Try jumping.
Jeez.
In Elden Ring, because there's a lot of secrets in this game, and a lot of them you have to drop off ledges to get to them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure I've killed many. I'm sure I've killed countless, but that is not my number 1.
Okay.
That was a lead into the games that I'm talking about. And they're the Soulsborne games. And in these Soulsborne games, like I've mentioned microwaving a hamster, but I think I have to say that my favorite animal is a dog. I love dogs. I love my dog. Like they are loyal, unquestionably so. They are just so sweet. Like they're innocent, man. They're the best, they are what you make them, and I have killed countless dogs in these Soulsborne games. To be fair, they're an enemy type and they attack you.
Yeah, do what you gotta do there.
They are like one of the worst enemy types in the game, but man, it feels bad every single time, and you are forced to do it, and that's the worst part. And like it's immediate in all these games. They're early on. And like Elden Ring has fluffy dogs too. Like they don't even look mangy and feral at times. They have like kind of like shaggy, cute dogs that some of the soldiers have. And it's like, come on, puppy. You don't want to come after me. But they will tear you apart. They are they attack quick. And like when there's more than one, you have no choice. And it is like, my heart breaks every time, a little bit, every single time I have to kill one of them. And I have, like I said, I mean, if you tally it up between all the Soulsborne games, it's probably thousands. And like, this is the one thing in games. It might not be on the level of like natural disasters or, throwing a hamster in a microwave. It might not be that sadistic, but if we're talking about the worst thing we've done that made me feel the worst, like this, it like ages me. It like, I mean, every time it like hurts, and I can't. I keep playing the games. So like, do I enjoy it? I don't know. I don't think so. But like, I also keep playing Elden Ring. So,
do you kill the dogs in like Bloodborne that are chained up and can't get to you? Aren't they like caged and?
I was hoping this wouldn't come up. I was hoping this wouldn't come up, but yeah, I do, because it gives you a. Gosh, it's not souls in that. Like, what is it? Blood? It gives you like
blood echoes.
Blood echoes. Yeah.
Blood
so
echoes,
like, yeah, because I have to get stronger. Like I have. So yeah, to me, the worst part is like, That's an easy target. Like it
Yeah.
can't even
Farming
fight
dogs.
back. It can't even fight back. It's like the best enemy you could come across in those games. I mean, seriously, if you've played these games, you know an enemy that can't fight back, you need to take advantage of. It's terrible. I'm sorry. I have no
I
excuses.
tend to hate dogs in any game, unless they're, my dog. Was it Fable 3? You have a dog?
I think so.
Maybe
One of the Fables.
people play Fable.
That,
No, I'm kidding.
Oh.
I'm all about when I have a dog companion, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Even like when I played Borderlands 3 and I was Flack, where you can like
Right.
summon the different whatever things. But fighting against dogs in games, I have no qualms with laying it down if I need to handle some dogs, especially if they like explode. I think Prince of Persia Warrior Within or whatever. This not the remake
Sands
when
of
they
Time.
had done the one after that. Like, and it got like super hard. It was just like they had these dogs that exploded on impact. My goodness.
I didn't count them as real dogs. I just
8.
looked at them like robots, at that point.
8 exploding dogs.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I could look at these things as possessed. And like I said, a lot of
There you
people on the scale, people wouldn't think that is that bad. But like to me, to me, it's bad. It's real bad. Yeah.
Like on Dragon Quest 11, you come across, it's later in the game, you come across they're like the cutest little animals. But of course they're attacking you. But
Right.
they're weak as crap. They pose no threat. And they did, like on RPGs, the little runaway thing. So it was like, you can't escape. Why not? So you have to fight these little cute, adorable carnival stuffed
They
animals.
force you to.
And then they bounce across the ground when you hit them. They're like, "Ow!" And then she walks across the ground. I'm like, no. Yeah,
Oh, that's awful. They force you to do it. You can't run away.
they're like little tigers or little dogs or something. I think they're little tigers, but they're the cutest things ever.
Terrible.
On Dragon Quest 11.
So is that it? That's the list, right?
I think so.
Man, we did it. We did it. We made it through, guys. I feel like we all lost a little part of ourselves during that.
And learned more about
Right. It's true. When you go through like when you share a traumatic experience, right, your relationship grows stronger. So I do feel like I know you guys a lot better now.
Yeah, appreciate it. Likewise, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely appreciate us, having us on.
Yeah, for sure.
It's always a good time to, just talk about gaming, and especially, other experts, as well. And I appreciate, being on the show with y'all.
Like we appreciate you coming on. You don't have to flatter us. Like I don't know how much of an expert I am, but
hey, we're all experts. We talk about gaming, talk about our hobby, we talk about our past experiences. We're all experts in this lovely, lovely gaming community.
Yeah. I'm glad you guys, do your show too. I'm glad you get together and talk about it. I think like, man, video games are cool. More people need to be talking about them,
It's the number one, was it the number one entertainment industry?
Probably.
Entertainment force in the industry? Yeah.
Probably.
Oh, yeah.
Well, before we leave, we're going to go ahead and get into a few questions for you guys, and then we'll go over our mission debrief.
Okay.
Word.
All right. So you guys have fun?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good.
Awesome. Yeah.
What about, I know, a tough subject. It's funny, like I probably should have made this an episode where we didn't have guests because like, man, it's tough. People might see a side of you.
Who are these sick jerks?
Right. Well, I think like you don't have to worry about that. There's Brian over here.
Are you pointing at me?
I am. It's probably different on everybody's computer. But that was me pointing at you, dude. No, I'm kidding. But so all day I play radio. You give yourselves a shout one more time. Tell everybody where they can find you, and then we'll get into some questions.
Me again, B. Okay, so at All Day I Play Radio on Instagram, one word, at ADIP, which is the acronym for All Day I Play Radio. On Twitter, you can follow myself at 9000 Moon Knight on Twitter, Moon Knight 9000 on Instagram, Brian P_83 on both. And you can search All Day I Play Radio on all your favorite streaming platforms.
Very cool. We'll have all the links in the show notes as well, along with ours. I will say, if you want to get a jump, you guys are the first to find out about this. If you want to get a jump on a giveaway we're going to be doing for our 2-year anniversary, make sure to follow us on social media, because we will be doing a significant giveaway. Not like anything crazy, but like, I mean, it's 2 years, man. We're nearing it. Before we know it, we'll be there.
That's awesome.
Congrats.
Super rad.
Hey, thanks. Thanks. Yeah, we're happy that we lasted this long. I don't know how much longer after this episode, but we'll see.
What?
Forever.
I'm just kidding.
I got a 10-year plan here, man.
Yeah, I mean, so we did say after 5 years we're going to get the logo tattooed.
That's right
On ourselves.
There you go.
We'll do that.
Look, if I do this for 5 years of my life, it's already meaningful, and I haven't even done it for 2 yet. Like I feel like I'm leaving something for people to hear, and like that's meaningful. I don't create a lot. I don't create a lot. But anyway, Moon Knight, right?
Yes.
Comic book fan?
I am a comic book fan, not particularly of him. I just, my last name is Moon, so I was like, this is cool, Marvel. So,
right? No, it's good. It's good use of that name for sure. I'm not like the biggest Moon Knight fan. He's kind of crazy, a little off the wall,
His show's coming out.
Yeah, I know it is. It is. I'm looking forward to it though. I like Oscar Isaac. It should be good.
Oh yeah, he's great.
So, favorite comic book character?
Favorite comic book character?
If you had to pick,
dude,
or just a few you like. No pressure.
Okay. Captain America's probably my.
Oh, let's go, dude! I have a Captain America tattoo.
I'm
one. Yeah.
I want.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
it's not gonna be that detailed. That is amazing. I was just gonna get the shield.
Yeah.
Basic stuff.
Well, if you're in Florida, I know a good tattoo artist.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you're in Florida. I don't know if you want to divulge that information. We could talk off.
We'll talk. Yeah. Yeah. Captain America's up there. Rogue, I love her.
For sure. Sugar
huge fan. Sugar. Good night. Yep. Those are probably the two.
So how do you feel about the X-Men 97 cartoon coming to Disney Plus? They're redoing that cartoon, right? It's pretty.
But are they gonna redo it like they did Rugrats? Like it's gonna look weird and change some stuff.
It's like the same animation style, and it picks up right after that series ended. Which I never watched the whole thing. I think I watched like the first few seasons, and then they really I don't know.
I was gonna say is it after season 5 or is it where's it? Because season 5 was a dumpster fire. So is it?
Yeah, I think it's after that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. As long as it goes back to the OG animation. I used to be obsessed with that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Cartoon.
Yeah. Big Cap fan though.
Same.
Because look, I think people have the wrong idea about Captain America, right? People think he just serves his country. No, this dude always does the moral good, right?
Always.
And that's why I love Captain America, because he'll stand up for the moral good. He's not about doing what his country tells him. He's about doing the right thing. And that's what's important. Yeah, for sure. So favorite video game or video game series? We'll start with Brian this time. Not Persona.
I'm like a duh. Okay. I'm like duh.
I mean, you could say Persona if you want, but something else,
Yeah. I'll give you something
that means a lot to you.
Yeah.
Brian, what you think? What you got?
I guess it's still favorite series is still the Metal Gear Solid series.
Nice.
1 through 3. 4 was cool. 5 was great. Huge Kojima fan.
Mm-hmm.
So I still try to play Death Stranding, but it's just hard.
Yeah. You got the deluxe too, didn't you? You picked up that. Yeah. See, this is good.
I was made a big deal about streaming. I was like, I'm going to stream it. This way I definitely am going to finish it. I played one time. I was like, yo, you don't play Overwatch, John?
But this is good. You actually kept me from buying the game, because especially when that deluxe edition came out, I was like, oh, this is the time I get into Death Stranding. Brian knows it. And hearing you talk about it, I think you talked about it the week after it came out. It was just kind of like, man, I'm the same. I love Kojima. So it was hearing that was like, okay, maybe I don't need to pick it up. So I know you might have spent the money, but you helped me save money, so I appreciate it.
I cost you a sale, Kojima. My bad.
I'm sure he's probably hurting.
He's coming from you. He's coming for you.
Yeah. So do you have a favorite Metal Gear game out of the series?
3.
Yeah, Snake Eater.
3 is Snake Eater is really good.
So that scene with the ladder, right?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I do know about that part.
The song. Yeah, the whole song. There's a thing in Elden Ring where you're about to get on a long ladder if there's a message in front of it that says "Visions of Snake." Because every long ladder, I swear, people left message on before every long ladder in that game that says "Vision of Snake." And at first, I'm like, "What are they talking about? Is there like a snake boss or enemy at the top of this?" And there never was. And then I was like, it hit me. I was like, "Oh, wait a minute,
Snake."
Yeah, wait a minute."
What a fear in my heart, but you're so supreme. I give my life not for honor, but for you. In my time, there'll be no one else. Crime, it's the way I fly to you. I'm still in a dream, Snake Eater. Someday you go through
But no,
Yeah, Kojima.
3's good.
Kojima's just he's he just has that Kojima charm, it's just people who it always when people are surprised of the wackiness, I'm like, why are you surprised? This man made a character who was on inline skates and called him Fat Man.
Oh gosh,
What's his name? This is a
Yeah,
boss.
yeah.
This is the respect that he gave to one of his bosses.
Yeah, last week I talked about it and I said, I called Vamp Vampire multiple times. So that's my bad. But his name is Vamp, so I think it's excusable.
His name
right?
is Vamp.
Yeah.
It's Phil Lamar. That's Phil
It is
Lamar.
Phil Lamar.
Really? Wow.
It is.
Yeah.
No kidding. Who knew?
Yeah.
I guess you knew. From that's wild. I didn't even know he did voice acting.
Yeah, he's talented.
Yeah.
You guys had a
Like-
voice actor on your show not too long ago, a really renowned one too, right?
We've
Yeah,
had 2,
Yeah, we had Alan Lee
hmm
and
and then we had said,
Yeah.
Man, that's really cool.
Yeah.
I always want to branch out and try to get, industry people, voice actors, whatever, people who work on games on the show, but I don't even know how to go about that. Were you able to connect with them through Twitter or?
Shoot your shot. We'll talk.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Very cool. But it's great that it's great that you guys have those guests on and even guests from your personal life too. The one you had on last week.
Yeah.
That was cool, man. It was cool to hear you guys all reminisce.
And Greg is one of the, I would call him probably the founding father, probably of All Day Operator, because we both know. I've never met Brian physically, face to face.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
wow.
we've known each other for 6 years. We met through Overwatch. Probably one of the reasons why we still play that Poison. But Greg, I know, he moved. They both grew up in Philly, right? Yeah, they both grew up in Philly.
Yeah.
He moved to I'm from DC, so he moved into DC, Maryland, Virginia area, and then I met him through a wrestling group, and then we hit it off. He's like, "You should talk to my boy Brian," and we talked on Overwatch, played on Overwatch, hit it off, and we've been friends since then. So, Greg, thank you, sir.
So that's how it all started.
Appreciate
Huh?
it.
That's how it all started.
That's how it all started.
Who first came up with the idea of doing the podcast?
Brian,
Yeah.
100%. Because this is when COVID hit.
Mhm.
And I was going through a little midlife crisis. I thought my career was ending because I was furloughed due to the pandemic or whatever. So Brian was literally what are you doing? I was like, I'm playing Overwatch with you. What are you talking about? And he was like, no, what are you doing with your life? And I was like, I don't know. And then I started getting a little under the weather because of that question. And then he's like, you want to start a podcast? I was like, sure. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
And ever since year and a half later,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great, man. It's really cool.
Awesome.
You should be a life coach, dude.
Yeah, man.
Who?
You.
You.
Because we started a podcast.
No, because you're asking the right questions, you know, like making me
Yeah.
think about what I'm doing. No, I think that's great. Like, yeah, it's really cool too. You don't really have to know somebody. You know, Brian and I only known each other for 3 years, and we now live in 2 different places and rarely get to meet up and meet face to face. So it's cool. We live in an age where you could have that, right? And still
Right.
put out,
Yeah.
still put out something entertaining and get to meet every week. And plus, like, it's cool just to have an opportunity to meet with I can't think of getting together with friends once a week prior to having this podcast. And now I have the opportunity to get
Right.
together with a friend and talk about video games every week. It's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
It's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Every week.
It is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I love your show, and definitely be
Thank
sure
you.
to check them out.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, hey, no problem. I really do. I don't just say that lightly. Like, you guys do good work for sure.
We really shucks. We really
Hey, thank
appreciate
you.
it. Thank you. Y'all doing this thing too. Like I said, I'm a huge fan
Yeah,
of the
absolutely.
show.
Thanks,
Thank
man.
you so guys so much.
Thanks. So without further ado, I say we go ahead and get into our mission debrief. You guys got something you want to recommend for our listeners out there?
I'm playing Overwatch as always. Stay away.
Yeah. So do not.
That works. That works too.
Still playing Sifu, Horizon, and what else? WWE. A lot of games out there, and I know what just came out. Something just came out. Elden Ring is out, obviously. There's something for everyone right now.
It is.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, so
For sure.
if you haven't known what to, you know, obviously listen to List Off podcast. You know what I'm saying? And
You mentioned Borderlands 3. Are you excited for Tiny Tina at all?
no,
Yeah.
I knew that was coming.
That's
Borderlands 3 really just like took it down for me.
yeah,
The
it's just, you
excitement.
know,
I
it
heard
was the
that.
same. It was the same thing, but because it had been years later, and after playing, you know, different properties like Destiny and like just
Right.
different type of life change, you know, quality of life changes in these games to kind of like go backwards. It
Right.
just felt like I was just shooting stuff. And
I will say the Tiny Tina like DLC from Borderlands 2 was one of my
Mhm.
favorites. So
Yeah.
I'm still like kind of interested, not like $60 interested, but I want to hear what it's all about for sure.
it looks
Mhm.
cool. It looks like a really good RPG.
Right.
So, like you said, but $60, you know, I'm not that
Yeah.
interested.
That's it.
So you got something for him, John?
Oh yeah. So you know, I mean, I don't know if am I banned from talking about this franchise again?
Yes,
Like,
you are. Oh my gosh.
I'm wearing their merch, but
Oh, look at that.
Oh my God. Stop
You
it.
got to check out the YouTube video now, guys.
Oh.
No, if I had to recommend one game, and it's about to be released on Switch, can I say two? Because these
Yeah,
two really
sure,
mean a lot
yeah,
to me.
definitely.
So thank you. So
It doesn't
the
even have
first
to be a
one-
game. It could be like whatever you want to recommend.
just anything. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
anything.
Oh, it's probably gonna be games still. I
Okay,
think,
that's
you
cool.
know? So
that works.
thank you. So 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim was a masterpiece in my opinion.
Wow.
You know, if you like real-time strategy, now I don't really play real-time strategy. I'm the most, and Brian will tell you, I'm the most finicky gamer ever. Like it has to be a certain way.
Mhm.
I thought 13 Sentinels was great. Like the story was amazing. It split into like 3 different parts. So you could try the real-time strategy aspect of it. You could do that. Then there's a story which is just like dialogue and you know all that good stuff. And then it's because it's a lot. It's 13 Sentinels. It's 13 different characters, so it's a lot to keep up with. They actually have another section where it puts stuff together, like for you to make sense of what's happening, because there is a lot going on. So it's. I love that game. And then I guess my second recommendation would be Yakuza 7, Like a Dragon.
Yeah, buddy.
The bomb. I
Yeah.
never played Yakuza. That was my first Yakuza game, but
It's a good
Brian's
one.
like, you know, then yeah, thank you. Yeah, exactly right. Said thank you like I made it. But Brian, you know, recommended it to me. He was like, you know, this is a JRPG. I was like, but it's Yakuza though. I didn't, you know, care for the other ones. I'm the laziest person ever. Like I like dubs. I know all the previous Yakuzas were all subs, so I'm lazy with that. But he was like, no, it's gonna be dubs. It's gonna be JRPG. I looked at it. It was the zaniest thing I've ever seen in my
Yeah.
life. I was like, I have to buy this right now, and I bought it. And I was like, I love this game.
Yeah.
I told John to buy Persona too.
You
Wow.
did.
Do you regret
You
it?
did.
Yes,
Yeah,
every
you
day
do.
of my life.
Perfect. No, he recommended to me because I was, I work in the hotel industry. I'm back in that. When I was telling you I was going through my little funk
Mhm.
before, the podcast and everything. I'm back in there. I didn't have to, hotel hours are crazy.
I bet.
So yeah, it's like they have you working 12, 13 hours, depending on what department you worked on. But I just didn't have time for a 125 plus hour game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I always say about Persona games.
Yeah. But it's like after COVID hit, I was like, that's all I was doing. I just became obsessed.
Yeah,
So
that's
thank you,
cool.
Brian.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I've heard good things about 13 Sentinels. Yeah, Like a Dragon. Everybody knows I love that game too.
Mhm.
It's,
So
I love
good.
the summons when you like pull out your cell phone and you're like
It's about to get nutty. Yes.
Yeah. And just the voice actor who does Ichiban
Kaiji
Kasuga.
Tang.
Oh, it's so good. It
Kaiji
is.
Tang's so good. I tweeted that. I was like, give him his flowers now.
Yeah,
Like,
it's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I now that I have the, I'm going to connect my Xbox, but now that I have that, I want to play it on that and not because I have it on my PC, but I just haven't really gotten,
Yeah.
I had it on my Surface as well, which
Wow.
oh my God,
Yeah.
ew. You said it would play like dog water then.
it had like perfect audio, but ran in slow motion. It was hilarious.
Oh,
Awesome.
that's pretty funny.
But I can
Yeah.
still play it because it's turn based.
I'm glad you knew the voice actor because you really saved me there. I always like say, "Oh, this person did a good job," and never know their name. But he has like that perfect like broy tinge to him. When he talks, it's always like, "Oh, what?" Like, "Oh, bro."
Ichiban is the most like he is my favorite protagonist.
Oh,
Probably
for sure.
Of any game
Yeah.
I've ever played.
Same
in my
for
life.
me. See, and now
Like-
people I know like Kiryu or like Majima. I think in Zero, right?
Mhm.
But yeah, I think Ichiban's just like he's too good to be true, man. He's so
yeah.
funny, dude.
Like how can you hate him? Like you have to me if you hate Ichiban, you have no soul. I'm sorry. Like,
no,
you
I'm
just
with
be
that.
like,
Yeah.
I don't like him.
Yeah.
Why? You just don't like joy?
Right.
What?
Yeah. You don't like cool people to be around. Cool.
Right.
Yeah. Right. So Brian, B Ryan, what's your mission debrief?
Yeah, so I finally saw Spider-Man No Way Home because it just came to
Digital.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I had access to that. Has everyone here seen it?
Yes.
Okay.
Now wait, are you about to get into spoilers? You should be very clear about that.
I guess it's spoilers, but it's all over the marketing. Like they're using some stuff in there that is how they're selling the movie on streaming.
Mhm.
And it's there's 3 Peters, and that's nuts.
Yeah.
It was a really fun movie. I've liked all of these Tom Holland Spider-Man movies. I never saw the second Amazing Spider-Man, but I saw all the other Tobey Maguire stuff. So all those little things were hitting just right for me.
Yeah.
And yeah, just absolutely hilarious to just see all the villains. I didn't realize all the villains were in it the way they were.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good.
It was cool to see it with my daughter. She's 13, so it was like, she's like in this. It's like really weird. My daughter has like this outfit when we go to the movies, and it's straight out of it's like 90s grunge.
Love it.
Wow.
I'm a few miles south of Atlanta, so it's like my daughter's like wearing a bucket hat, she's like parachute pants on. I'm like the first time I saw her, I just like stopped. She was like, "What?" And I was like, "Nothing."
Ready? Love originality.
Yeah, you ready? Let's
cool.
go. So it's just like
Awesome.
to like see that and her like she for whatever reason, a lot of people joke about Gwen dying on Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man.
Right.
Is it how she died?
Yeah, like there's just a lot of stuff on TikTok, and so she's really into that. And then she sent me something this morning that was like, Andrew Garfield like crying while holding MJ,
right?
Like, the silhouette of Gwen, like think of Return of the Jedi at the end. And so I laughed, and my daughter was like, "That's not funny." I was like, when did it not become funny? She was like, he's crying. I was like, okay. Like
that just fit in the theme of this whole episode. Your
That's
darkness.
True. That's true. You gotta find humor in it, right? Somewhere. Yeah.
That's what I was gonna ask Brian.
Mhm.
You know, did you like when Andrew Garfield caught MJ? You know, how did it feel the same? Like, because you said you didn't see Spider-Man 2 where Gwen did,
right?
You know, bite the big one,
right? So I didn't have any like context for that. So I you know, you see them in the first movie, and obviously, like they kind of show enough about it that it's like, okay, this thing is going on for him.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that part didn't really hit too much. But my favorite scene is when they're all like getting ready for the big fight, and they're just all like talking about their experiences as Peter Parker.
Yeah,
and it was just so fun to hear like all of that. My wife has seen.
We're getting into full spoilers here.
Yeah, right. Y'all are wild.
they're talking about stuff like that's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, my wife has seen, like, she doesn't remember movies. She'll like watch it and then be like, I don't remember what happens. So she got nothing out of this movie, and it was pretty long. So like, whatever. But yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. I am at a point where I'm getting to like, I haven't seen all the Marvel stuff, so I'm a little lost on some of the threads. Because they're touting all this Doctor Strange and
that's good.
Wanda, you know, whatever storyline.
Mm-hmm.
So I know like little bits of it, but I definitely understand where people are like, there's too much Marvel stuff. Like I can't follow it. I'm getting to that point.
I don't feel that way.
Yeah.
But I'm also the guy who's like day one, as soon as the episode airs, I'm watching it, so I don't get spoiled, and so I know I'm not the typical like viewer, right? But I actually, Brian, you messaged me right after you watched it, and I brought up that moment with. I was like, oh man, like wasn't that so? Like each character had their moment. And when they did this for Andrew Garfield, and he's like, yeah, it did nothing for me. Well, I'm like messaging him like, oh god, I'm
a Toby. I'm a Toby guy. Like that was for me.
Toby,
look, I love it.
I think Tom Holland's the best.
He's the best
because like Tobey Maguire's face, dude. Come on,
it's bad.
Come on.
Yeah.
When he like stops the train, he's like.
Yeah, he was in Seabiscuit. Come on.
That's not a point for him. That's a point against him.
I just think for me, like that was where superhero movies like took off for me. Like that first Spider-Man movie proved that this could work.
Dude, those are the X-Men titles, though.
Nah, those are good.
Those are good.
Like, Spider-Man did it.
The first one was good.
And
first
the second
two were
one,
good.
Yeah.
Second one, three was
third
good.
one.
Three was
terrible.
Yeah,
we don't talk about the third.
No,
I think Andrew Garfield
no.
was the best in my opinion.
Really?
Yeah,
he was
me too. Yeah, he's my favorite. Yeah,
I might need to watch Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2
I thought
again.
they were fine. Like they had their bad parts, but like I remember I definitely enjoyed them when I watched them. I saw them both in theaters, and I definitely enjoyed them when I watched them.
Yeah, Toby just looked old and whiny.
He does.
Yeah,
yeah, he looks like the cool youth pastor.
That was great. That was.
But so anyway, my mission debrief is my son, right? I'm trying to get him into cool things like Pokemon and like some interest that like we could share. So I was looking on YouTube for Pokemon videos, and I found this Pokemon. It's official from the Japanese Pokemon YouTube channel. They are cooking videos. And they're like ASMR, so they get a little like squelchy at times when like the dude's mixing the batter and stuff, but like it's so cool and it's so chill, and he loves watching these videos and it's like I want to know the translation to the recipes because everything they make in these videos just looks so yummy, and it's all Pokemon themed, right?
That's cool.
Yeah, the videos are cool. It's like this dude, and he starts out in his garden picking strawberries, and like the Pokemon are all playing in the yard around him. And he goes inside and he starts like making the dough for whatever he's baking, and the Pokemon are like sneaking strawberries in, and it's like Pikachu, Psyduck, Jigglypuff, and it's real good CG in these videos. But all the measurements, and it shows you like how to make these dishes, but all the measurements obviously are in grams, it's in the metric system, and then it's also in Japanese. So I could get like the count and the grams out of it, but like, you know, obviously when it's an egg, I know it's an egg, but when it says like something else, I'm just like, I don't know what he's adding right now. It looks like it could be flour. I don't know. So I really want to
Kayla would be able to tell you. She could do it on site, I bet.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
She is like a master chef, honestly.
Oh snap!
Oh! I thought she knew Japanese.
You eat good, then.
No,
I thought she knew how to read kanji or something,
No.
dude. I was like, wow, really? Like,
She
I did
would
not
know
know that about Kayla.
what they're pouring in.
Yeah,
That's how Dominique is too.
yeah. I'm not like that, but even if you don't want to make the recipes, they're adorable little videos, and like I said, they just have this super chill vibe, and it like chills my son right out. And
did you try regular Pokemon with him, like the TV or?
Yeah, and like he'll play Pokemon Go sometimes on the phone, you know, and yeah, he likes the anime series just fine. But like this is a different vibe than that. You know, it's not like everybody yelling at each other and you know.
Is this a Nintendo official thing?
It's official Game Freak, like it's their Japanese YouTube channel, and I'll provide a link because it is difficult to find. Just because it uses Japanese characters, it's like, I'll provide a link to at least one of the videos, and you can go from there. But
awesome,
man, they're super cool, super chill, and they're adorable, right? Like little Pokemon. My son now has a favorite Pokemon, and he goes around the house singing Jigglypuff.
Oh no,
because he likes Jigglypuff. Yeah, so now we got to like try to find him a big Jigglypuff stuffed animal or something, you know. But yeah, I definitely recommend you check these out if you have the least bit of interest in Pokemon or baking. They're worth your time. The ASMR part, it's like a little bit much sometimes. You know, like there's one point where the dude takes a bite of strawberry, and like I'm not even going to do it with my mic right here, but you get the idea. It's a very like
that'll be on the page show.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, does the mic have to be that close? You know. But yeah, that's my mission debrief.
Nice.
Pokemon cooking shows.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah. So that was it. Again, guys, thank you very much for coming on. It was a pleasure having you. I had a great time. Their links will be down in the show notes, as will ours. And as always, we appreciate you. Oh, yeah. Well, gosh, I do this every time. We have a show next week. And next week, I believe we're doing our mission report, right? Our monthly mission report. And it came up a few times this episode, and that was not planned, but we're going to be discussing backlogs and the current state of games, and maybe how long these games take to beat, and how that isn't really conducive to us getting through our backlogs, but like how we could all maybe change our perspective on backlogs and what they are and how to approach them. It's just going to be a general discussion about that sort of thing, and you know, the emotions that tie into it, let's say. But right, did I hit the nail on the head there, Brian?
All right, thanks,
there's
too many games.
That's it. That's it. But as always, guys, thanks so much for listening, and we hope you have a great week.
Bye. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Later.